Okay, guys, we are. I was going to say live, but we're not live because I'm recording this. But we have got a legend with us today, an absolute legend. He loves the word legend, don't you, Sean?
Yeah.
Seandundee, ex-Liverpool legend, as I always call anybody puts a Liverpool jersey on, is a legend. Let's be fair, okay? So we're going to start from the beginning, Sean. South African, born in Durban, South Africa. Most of your career spent in Germany, where you live now, in Germany. You've played for the likes of Stuttgart and Karlsruhe. How do you pronounce them?
Karlsruhe.
That sounds good. Where you made your name, because you got a lot of goals the season. Liverpool were looking at you. There's a few other clubs looking for you, I think, at that time, wasn't there?
Yeah, they were, yeah.
What was that day like? Obviously, Liverpool 98-99 season. Liverpool had the double managers of Houllier and Royevans. It was a bit of a weird setup, to be fair. What was that day like when your agent, you got that phone call from Liverpool going, what?
I had three teams that I was dealing with at the time: Glasgow Rangers, Auxerre from France, and Gladbach. And I was like, oh, where am I going to go? And I was really, should I go there? I took about a week to decide, more or less. I had a feeling, okay, maybe I was going to go to France for a while. And then suddenly my agent called and said, Liverpool interested. Okay, let's get rid of the other names. Let's go there, But that was before, I mean, it was Royevans that got me. That was before Gerard Houllier that before they had said there was going to be that joint manager role. A little bit later.
Yeah.
But it's as soon as Liverpool came up, there was no doubt in my mind where I was going to go. Although I was as a kid Everton supporter, but it didn't matter,
Listen, we've all got our problems, Sean. But the thing about it is, obviously that season, as you say, Royevans signed you. He was the one obviously looking at you with the scouting, and you came to Liverpool. I mean, like Liverpool, it's. I mean, FSG are there now, and it's totally. We'll talk about how good or how bad they are now, but at the time, I mean, Liverpool had some superstars playing for them at the time. Michael Owen, of course, just had finished the '98 World Cup and was a superstar. Robbie Fowler was there. Karl-Heinz Riedle was there. I mean, Steve McManaman, all these type of players were there. So, we were coming into a squad and a team there that were, half decent.
Yeah, I mean, they were looking for that success to win the league. And obviously, I knew Karl-Heinz Riedle quite well. We had played against each other, and I was a big fan. I used to love watching him. Before I even went to Germany, he was in the World Cup squad that won the World Cup in '90. So, and I mean, we used to talk now and again a little bit on the field when we used to play, but he was a big hero for me. So, Michael Owen, when I had signed, Michael Owen was a big name, but then at the World Cup, he just lit up everything, and obviously it was exciting times. Me being a fan back then of the English Premier League, obviously McManaman was also a guy that I definitely wanted to meet. Robbie Fowler, Paul Ince, and obviously in goal David James. But it was a great mix, a great setup that they had. They just things didn't click that season, did they? It was a terrible season.
Yeah, I mean, we've had some, obviously, I'm a Liverpool fan since the 80s, and we've had some great, obviously, in the 80s, we are brilliant, but we've had some good sides even in the 90s and in the 90s, and we were close once or twice, but obviously, Klopp came along, and the rest is history. But the thing for me with Liverpool, you didn't get your fair crack of the whip, to be fair. I mean, I don't know what happened. Obviously, you know what happened, circumstances and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, but it was more or less my fault as well, because the season that ended in Germany. Then I had like a month break, or even it was about a month and a little bit, and I was more relaxed than anything else, and should have just worked harder in the preseason a little bit. That when the preseason did start, I was prepared, because a lot of those boys came back really fit, and then I had to do some catching up. I can remember the first friendly that we played. I was really in form. I felt great, but as we started getting into intense training, I just felt my body not being able to keep up. So I needed to do extra stuff after training, which I did. And then I don't know if you remember, we played against Valencia in the UEFA Cup game where I came on because I was the tallest, probably one of the tallest strikers in the team back then. So they asked me. Some of the players said, "Bring on somebody that can start winning some balls in the air," and that's what I did when I did come on. And after the game, Royevans came to me and said, "We'll see about the weekend if you get a shot, you know." And during, I think it was like 2 days later, I injured myself, and that was it, you know. Then Gerard Houllier took over, and me and a few others, he didn't want us in the team anymore. So I mean, we had, it's something you have to respect as a player as well. I mean, it's the greatest job in the world, but it can also be the meanest on the other side. And although I did try and look I did try and speak to him often and see what I could do to get the chance, he wasn't interested. So I had to think about moving, and that's what I did. I wasn't going to just stay there 2 years and wait and get paid. I wanted to play football. That's why I went back to Germany.
Yeah, I mean, it was sad. And did I read somewhere that you were training alone and stuff like that? Is that true?
I was training alone. I mean, the worst thing was before the season started, the next season, I was training with Paul Ince. There was Paul Ince, I think there was one or two other players, and myself. We were training on the pitch at the Anfield.
Yeah.
And I hadn't heard anything. Like, I didn't know when the training was starting. I said, "Hey, Paul, when do they start training again?" They said, "No, they've already left on training camp." And I was, "Oh, okay." So
crazy,
yeah.
Crazy time. I know things can happen in football and in life. I mean, you could start a job, a normal 9 to 5 working job, and the manager either doesn't want you or doesn't like you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Stuff like that, and then you're sort of shunned. You know what I mean? Is that Royevans in the background?
Ja, ich brauche vielleicht 15 Minuten. Ja. Okay, kannst du, wenn du willst, aber sonst kannst du gehen. Yeah.
No problem.
The blind, she's going up and down. That's why it was so loud. Sorry about
that.
Yeah, no problem. Lucky you can cut this now.
Yeah, well, maybe I won't. That was good. Yeah. But I mean, the thing about it is, and I was reading. I also watched your podcast with the Cupite podcast with Jay and Mick last year. I'm good friends with them, so
they're great as well. Yeah.
Oh, they're top class guys. And I was watching you, and on it you were saying that you were friends. I think it was with McManaman. You got friendly with McManaman.
Well with him, you know. We were. He liked BMWs, and I had one myself, and I talk a little bit about cars back then. But nowadays the cars are a little bit different now. What we used to drive around back then.
Ferraris and Lamborghinis.
Yeah. Then it was BMWs, and I remember David James having a Jaguar, and that was it. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, the game has changed. The more money has come into it in the last 10, 15 years. It's just, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Yeah, it's ridiculous. But also, I mean, like Liverpool, I mean, obviously the team now is unbelievable. I also read somewhere that you knew Thomas Tuchel, or you're friendly with him, or time at Stuttgart. Is that right? The Chelsea manager?
We were, when I came to Germany in 92, he was at the Stuttgartfc where I started my career off. I was on trial there 2 weeks, and then I signed a contract for 1 year, and he was my roommate. Yeah, so I've sent him a few messages since he's been the Chelsea manager.
Yeah,
we've spoken shortly, but he's obviously a really busy man at the moment. So
he's doing a good job at Chelsea, isn't he? He's doing a great job there.
He did a good job here and in Germany as well, and he's making his way. He's got a great squad now as well. We have to. That's definitely one of the squads that we have to be careful of.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just watching Man United there just before you came on. Ronaldo scored 2. I mean,
he got 2 now. I saw the first one.
He got 2. Yeah. I know. We all love Man United.
I have 2 friends. One's an Arsenal fan. One's a United fan, and they. Different side of the table at the moment, sir. But United look also good at the moment.
And you're an Everton fan. So obviously when you were a kid growing up in Durban, you're a big Everton fan. I know Everton had a great team in the 80s.
I can even tell you the reason why I was an Everton fan. Because when I was a kid, my dad was friends with somebody that was a bit closer to the club. And he watched me play and said, when I'm old enough, he'll get me a trial at Everton. And that was my click where I said,
whoa,
everything, I don't care about anything. I'm going to work hard and be a professional in Europe. And that was what got me started. So I used to sit in my room listening to BBC, and it's not like nowadays you just open up something on the handy. But I used to sit in my room with an old radio and listen to the BBC and all the results coming in. So that was a great time as well for me. I'm glad I grew up in a time like that.
Well, as you say, we're similar age, vintage, and I used to listen in Dublin over here before Sky Sports became.
Yeah, but you were in Ireland, so it was much closer. I was I was in South Africa, so I had to really fine tune the radio. And it was
medium wave radio 5.
Exactly. That medium wave. It was difficult, you know.
No, I mean it was different football back then. It was a different world back there. Let's be fair, but back to your time at Liverpool. I mean, did you even the first? You're only there for a season, but did you ever think, or you just said, "Listen, that's it. I'm gone next season. I'm not going to get a chance here. I'm wasting me time here. I got to get out."
I had an agent came to me just before. At the halfway stage, and said he wanted to help me because I had somebody else that was taking care of me.
Yeah,
and I told my agent that I want to go, and at first he said, "No, well, let's wait and see what happens." And I wasn't prepared to wait. And then I called the other agent. He was in Germany. He sorted things out and said, "You know what? I'll get you a club here." And I think it was that day where I heard that the team had already left on training camp. They had gone away, and I said, "Okay, well, that's it for me. You know, I'm not going to stick around and wait." And that's when I decided to call the new agent. He helped me get away, and it was a good thing. I mean, I enjoyed my 4 years in Stuttgart. So obviously, it was a. Obviously, I now or just after that, I didn't think much about it. But over the years, I was, you know, you get older and you get wiser, and you think, "Oh, why didn't that work out? Why didn't things work out?" And that's why I probably realize now all the mistakes I made on the way there, and I know that I left a lot with my potential. I know that I didn't use it to the fullest.
Yeah. So what was your biggest reason, do you think? Maybe the manager change, or like what do you think the biggest reason?
I just made a bad impression when the season did start. So I think that was a real reason that I wasn't at the level of the other players when the season started. And then when the change did come, I think for Gero Julia was to try and get the team the way he wants to get it as quickly as possible. And he probably looked on paper which players he didn't need anymore. And I was one of them. So I say, that's one of the things you have to respect. And to be honest, he went on and did some great things at Liverpool as well. Obviously didn't win the league, but he won a lot of
the treble.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, I can't hate the guy, but I had to respect his decision, and that's the way football is. It doesn't happen. It didn't just happen to me. It's happened to a lot of players at other clubs as well. It's always going to happen.
Yeah. It's part of life, as I said to you before. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't only happen in football. It happens everywhere.
No, I know. That's it. I know, you're right.
Yeah, but and as we know, Julia passed away recently.
I know as well. I know. I was also shocked and sad to see anybody, any player, or
absolutely
something like that happen. It does hit you.
You got a B cap for the German national team.
I was supposed to play for the German national team my first game, and I got injured the weekend before the game. So it was I just had injuries at terrible times in my career. That slowed me down. Just when I was moving forward, and bam, back again. And I was in the national team a few more times after that, but I never got a game time. So
was that the Bertie Vogts team? Was it?
Yeah, with Bertie Vogts. Yeah.
Do you know what? As in life and as in everything else, you need a bit of luck, don't you? You need a bit of luck.
And you know what? You know how you get that luck? By working hard. And I think that was one of my things that, as a South African, the South Africans are a little bit laid back and relaxed. And as a kid, I set myself a goal to become a professional, and I reached that goal. And I think that's when I stopped working for something, because I thought I'd already achieved what I wanted, and I think that's what makes the difference between a Ronaldo and Messi. They're not satisfied. They want to go higher and higher, and if they reach something, they set the next goal. And I think that's why there's a lot of good players out there playing in England as well, because they have high goals and they work hard.
Just before we go, Sean, what do you think of the current Liverpool crop? And Klopp, of course, being German. What do you think? I mean, a really good squad we've got at Liverpool at the moment.
I mean, I love the squad. I think the year that we won the league, I thought that it was maybe in depth a little bit better, but it's still too early. I mean, do we have enough to win the league? I think we have enough to stay with the others. I don't know how City doing it. I know they were 1-0 down. You know.
Yeah, no. City were beating Leicester City 1-0 with 10 minutes to go.
City were winning.
Silva, I think, scored.
City, I thought City were down. No, but it's just about being consistent, and that's why we won the league back then, because we weren't dropping any points. And I think the danger team this season is still going to be Chelsea. I think that City and aren't as strong as last season. I think that United are a bit stronger. Liverpool, it's difficult to say right now. You know, if Salah and Mane and Firmino start getting things going again, no one can stop them. You know, and Jota as well. I know.
I think the key for Liverpool is, because it's such a tight squad. It's not as big as, let's say, United, City, Chelsea. I think the key is injuries. So if we can stay injury free,
I mean,
I think
Van Dijk last season, that was terrible. You know, just came. Yeah. I mean, I'm a big fan of Bayern Munich as well. I like Bayern Munich, but something's missing in the squad, and sometimes I get that feeling at Liverpool as well. I mean, you have Robert Lewandowski. If he gets injured, then there's no one.
He's a monster. He's a monster.
Everything seems to work around him, but if he gets injured now, it's just like at Liverpool, like you say as well. If one or two of those players get injured, well,
they're in trouble. I would have thought they would have bought a striker, to be fair, in the summer, but we didn't do it. We brought Ibrahima Konate, who you probably know from Leipzig.
Yeah, I know. He's a good player, but I would also have liked to see somebody up front. You know, somebody dangerous come moving into the attacking areas. But we'll see. I mean, these players have a lot of games to play in the season, and I think that's why a lot of the injuries also come. And it's just about keeping them fit. I think that year that we won the league, they found time to rest players, but they also, because of the Corona time, they got a few players back during that, and that helped. But we'll see how it goes this season. Obviously, it's not going to be that easy, but we'll see.
Just before we go, what do you do yourself now? Are you involved in football or TV or?
I'm involved in TV. I'm one of the expert co-commentators for the German for the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
Obviously, my voice gets heard in South Africa now and again, probably in England sometimes, in America. So I do that once. No, I do that about 2-3 times a month. This weekend I got a week off, but other than that, I have a fitness center where I work, where I'm doing some stuff now as well, private coaching. I was never interested in going into being a manager and coaching, and that I just don't have the time for that. You have to be. I mean, as a player, it took up a lot of your private time, but as a manager, I think it takes up too much, and I just didn't interest me to go into managerial work.
But I'll tell you what, I really enjoyed that. We'll keep it short and sweet. That was absolutely brilliant, Sean. Thank you very much for coming on.
No problem.
Good luck going forward. Your family, stay safe, and in everything you do, thank you very much.
No problem. Anytime. And if you need anything else, and you have my number as well now, so just go ahead. You got time, and we can do something short together.
If you're ever in Dublin, I'll bring you out for a nice Guinness.
I love Dublin. We were there the pre-season that year that I was there, so I really enjoyed it. The nightlife, but I was a bit younger then. I'm not really into the nightlife, but sitting around and talking would be great.
Oh yeah, Sean, absolute pleasure. Thank you very much. Stay safe.
You too, Take care.
Cheers, mate. Bye.